Hey guys, Liza here, and today I'm going to show you how to do this cool metal text effect in Photoshop. And surprisingly, it isn't even that difficult to do, so just follow these simple steps and you will have cool looking text just like this in the next few minutes. The font I'm going to use in this tutorial is actually not a pre-installed font. It is called Blade 2 and I downloaded it and installed it myself. This, however, is 100% optional. You can use whatever font you'd like, but for the best results I recommend downloading this font or a similar font. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to download a font and install it now really quick. It'll only take a minute. If you've chosen to not use a downloaded font and use one of the pre-installed ones instead, which is perfectly fine, you can click down the bottom right now and skip ahead. So to start off, go to Google. Now there are two sites you can use to download fonts. There's 1001 Fonts and there's also DaFont, which is the site we'll be using today. There will be links to these sites in the description. So go to the search bar and write in Blade 2. And there it is, that is the font we want, so go over to the right and click download. The download should be very quick as the file size is quite small. So go to wherever you saved the download, and in the folder there should be the name of the font followed by .ttf. Now what you want to go to is Start menu and Control panel. Now I'm just going to adjust these screens to make it easier to view. Go to the search bar on the Control panel and write in Fonts and select Fonts. Now all you must do is click and drag the font into the fonts folder. I already have it, so I don't want to replace it, but it's as simple as that. Okay, so now that we have our font downloaded, we're going to begin the tutorial. So I have my text tool selected, I have Blade 2 as my font, and I'm going to do size 600. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to use the word text. So I'm just going to reposition the text into the center. Now moving over to the Layers tab, you want to either double click on the text layer or else go down to FX, and we're going to start with Bevel and Emboss. So now this is where all the magic happens. Under Bevel and Emboss, go to Technique, set it as Chisel Hard. You can set your depth to whatever you feel is right. I'm going to use 140. And size I'm going to set as 20, but yet again you need to get a feel for it yourself and play around with the settings. Under Shading, this is important now. Go to Gloss Contour and select the one with two bumps here like I am now. As you can see straight away our text is looking a lot better. So go down to Shadow Mode, I'm going to raise this to around 90, and under Highlight Mode I'm going to lower it down to about 60. Yet again, play around with these settings. Depending on the font you've chosen, you may want to adjust these settings accordingly. Now select Contour and adjust the range until you're happy with how the text is looking. I think I'm going to go with around 85. Now go down and select Inner Shadow. I'm going to set my distance to around 2, and I'm going to put my choke at 30 and my size at 10. I'm going to lower my opacity just a small bit. Now moving on, go down and select Satin, I believe it's pronounced, and you can set your distance and size to pretty much whatever you'd like. Try and judge it yourself. I'm going to set my distance to 30 and my size to 35. Now judging on the colour of your background, you can add a nice tint using this effect to your text. So just click the black box and the Colours tab will open. Now try and select a colour similar to the colour of your background. I'm going to try and find a nice blue here. Okay, I'm happy with that. So as you can see, the text has a slight tint of blue to it now. This is optional, you do not have to do this. If I turn the effect off and on, you can see how it changes slightly. Now moving on to Gradient Overlay, you want to set your blend mode to darker colour. Now tick the box that says Reverse. Change the angle if you'd like. I'm going to set mine to around 119 and raise your scale to 150. Now I'm going to lower my opacity down to about 40. The next effect we're going to add is Outer Glow, and I really like how this turns out. So select a colour that's just slightly off-white, just a pale yellow or blue or green. Once you've selected your colour, under Elements, change the size to 100 or roughly 100. Now switch your blend mode to Overlay, and as you can see, this results in a nice subtle glow around your text. Now last but not least, select Drop Shadow. You can set this to whatever you'd like. I'm going to set my distance to 4, my spread to 30, and my size to 10 again. Another optional effect you can add is going to Color Overlay. As you can see, this allows you to change the colour of your text. By clicking on the red box, it'll open up the colour picker. You can select whichever colour you'd like. No matter what colour you choose, it still gives the text a really cool look. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I think I'm going to go with a yellowish gold colour. Something along the lines of this. Maybe I'll just tone it down a small bit. Now the cool thing about layer styles is that once you've done all this on one set of text, you can go up to the right here and select New Style, and you can name it whatever you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and call mine Metal Gold for the purpose of this tutorial, and click OK. And that's pretty much it. Now you have some cool metal looking text. The great thing about this is that the text is still fully customizable. You can change what it says and the effects remain on the text. Also, now that you saved the layer style, you can use this layer style again in the future without having to follow all these steps. For example, if I go ahead now and delete that text layer with all the effects added on it, we're back to square one, you would believe. But if I go ahead and type in the same writing again, text, I'll just center that really quickly. Now simply go up and select the layer style you've saved under Styles, and there you have it. The effect is instantly added to your text. Well, that's it for today guys. I hope this tutorial helped. On screen now is my previous video if you'd like to go ahead and check that out. All support is greatly appreciated, so if you have the time, please go ahead and smash that like button. If you found this tutorial helpful, go ahead and subscribe as you'll be kept up to date on my future tutorials, and I will see you later.